Hi, I'm Patricia Allingham Carlson, and this is a full end-to-end version of my Tulips 1 painting. For a condensed version, there's a link below in the description section. This is episode 2. In episode 2, I define the petals of the tulips, and I have a lot of fun with them. I brighten the colors, and I add more colors slowly building up. I begin to accent the stems through the tulips, and then I begin to start on the leaves, which are not quite as much fun for me. If you enjoy this video, I hope you'll like it and subscribe. Now let's get going on the painting. This is my reference photo. I frequently work from reference photos and try to be inspired by what I see. Sometimes I copy exactly, and sometimes I take the colors and the forms and then just try to run with them, like I'm doing for this painting. Back again, I am detailing the petals, and I'm taking a little bit of paint out where I want the light to shine through the petal, such as what I saw in my picture. I was using a photographic reference from a lovely bouquet I took in the winter, where I ordered a big basket of bulbs, watered them, and they all came up and bloomed so pretty for me. It was a real brightener for a dreary winter time in Pennsylvania. What my aim is here is to define petals without overdoing and overworking. I'm painting in shadowed lines and then softening them with water, very repetitiously, but it seems to be the best approach I have. In some areas the petals were quite dark. As I paint, I'm also conscious of the fact that the petals curve. They are not flat. So I'm trying to paint in a way that suggests the curve of each individual petal. Now, by accident in my approach, I had left a white area in the middle of the petal, and I may or may not decide to keep that just for the sake of a little unusual accent. I also do not have all the petals of the tulip shaped in a perfect manner, but I'm working with what I have and letting it flow out of the lines. Now this tulip is somewhat set back, so I'm not going to define it as clearly. I'm coming in with some cobalt blue and some ultramarine blue and showing a few of the petals, but I'm not going to overpaint this little distant tulip. It very softly almost merges into the other tulip. And that was the look I was going for. No sharp edges. Now this next tulip had developed a lovely little salted crystalline texture on the petal from the application of the salt. So I decided to try to preserve that and paint around the little marks left by the salt crystals. I thought it added some interest. And if I were to decide I didn't like it, I could certainly paint over it later. Finding the edge of a petal. And painting around the little salt marks. And another edge of another petal. And so far I'm fairly pleased with how this one's coming out. It seems to be coming together a bit easier than the purple one was. Moving into the next pinkish purple tulip. I'm defining a petal edge. And again, I'm looking at my photo reference. I paint in a line to define my edge, and then I break it with water. I have a bit of green that ran into this tulip, and I'll have to decide at some point what I'm going to do with it. Turn it into a leaf? Blend it into the tulip? I'm just not sure yet. For me, painting the flowers is a lot more fun than painting the leaves. So I'm doing that first, and I will get to the leaves. But this part really is fun and very exciting to play with the colors and the soft forms and try to add harder edges and definition where it's needed without adding too much. The beauty of the watercolor when it's clean and fresh is just amazing. Again, I'm taking a little color off to try to capture the glow of light shining through the tulip. And I add that same light little glow at the bottom of the tulip. Now my next tulip is sort of a pinkish purple, but it also had a lot of blue tones to it. So I'm starting out by defining the edges. Again, you'll see some green right into this tulip. But I'm really not concerned in the slightest about that. The green can stay there. I'll paint over it and work with it. I've seen green in a lot of tulips, especially paler colors, so it's quite natural. As I was forming this tulip, I did make a couple of mistakes that I'll have to go back and correct later. But I put the petals in a non-logical way, and they will have to be fixed. The petals should all overlap in a certain way. And I got the overlapping out of order, which you'll probably see a little bit further ahead. And then you'll see me have to fix it. So to me, the green showing through these colors are not of a problematic nature. They just look fine to me. It just becomes part of the beautiful loose flowers. Oh, I do like that blue coming through there. It acts as a nice complement to the orange in the other tulips. So painting a darker color against a lighter color allows the petal edge to stay very pale and to show its formation. This is a kind of negative painting. I'm showing the light petal by painting darks around it. And there I corrected my mistake, where I was having the petal formation wrong. So the overlapping is more logical now. And down we go toward all of the leaves. Adding some structure with these strong darks for the stems. As I start down into the leaves, you could see the need for having these good, strong accent colors. So I have to figure out which leaf is going to go on top, which one's going on bottom, where I want to darken, where I want to shade, and exactly how this whole big blurry mess at the bottom is going to go together. So that will be the next challenge of trying to work with this painting. But I really am having fun with it. I hope that you learned something too, because I think I learned something with just about every painting I ever do. I hope you enjoyed my video of Tulips 1, and I hope you learned something. I appreciate your likes, and please do subscribe. If you click on the bell and select all, you'll get a ring whenever I post a new video. Your comments are welcome, as well as your feedback, because I really do want to make my video helpful and informative. I'll see you soon with a new end-to-end video, so please don't forget to subscribe.